Hey, what's up, YouTube? Getting back on the channel with Prison 101. Right now, my kids are they're playing Spider-Man. Uh, I just kind of had a thought back process. I was watching, what was it? I think it was like Jay Williams, and we are going to get on the subject, which it's pretty crazy when you go to prison, you'll see it. And what I'm talking about is being turned out in prison. And why I see this happen, or at least the story that I'll tell, is kind of crazy. It was like a person that I saw through my whole time of doing my county bid before I went to prison. So a backdrop on it real quick is that I did the dumbest thing. So when you get charges, you get a preliminary. It's called a preliminary hearing. So when you go to that hearing, right, it's actually you. The state tries to give you a plea deal. Like, this is the worst it can be deal, and if you waive your preliminary hearing, right, where your charges can get dropped, but rarely they can get dropped. You have to get evidence in front of a judge. A judge has to actually drop your charges, and usually, if the cops have enough to charge you, it just takes them coming up and saying, yeah, this and that, and you get charged. Well, my dumb, at the time, I thought I was talking to the best inmate, freaking, the best inmate lawyer, pretty much. He's like, man, you should take this, you don't want to waive your preliminary hearing. This is going to be brought up to how I got a whole year consecutive to my time, and this is what I always recommend to a lot of people, you know. So so he was like, take it to prelim, and I was like, my dumb thinking, jailhouse lawyer, man, number one. That's who I need to go with. So, bam, I take it to prelim. I get smoked, and I piss off the state. So I had a 2 year, 6 month, and then it went to the max of a 3 year, 1 year consecutive, and that I was not getting any more. And I kind of deserved it at the time. I had a lot. I had like 2 felonies on my record, 19. Didn't give two F's about nothing. Didn't care about no one. So they were like, we're gonna give this fool the max. So this is how the story makes up. So I got when I ended up taking the deal of pretty much the max at disposition. So that's right before you go to trial. They were trying to show me some love. Basically, my year was going to be I got to change to community corrections when at the end of it. And then I ended up going to prison. Community correction is like halfway in, halfway out. So I got community corrections, and then on that year bid, they were like, so you're not going to prison now. We're going to give you work release, which is like pretty much you're just in and out of jail. You're leaving to work, and then the most privileged people, this brown shirt people that could work, that had a lot of privileges. So anyways, I took that plea deal. I put in my request, and they said no, because you're DOC, which is community corrections, you can't do any of the programs because of high risk. So I got smoked. So when I started my sentence off and did my whole year, I went from minimum to max custody. So I'm gonna tell you about this one white dude. Cannot remember his name, but his face, he just looked like he had some issues, man. Not built for there. I don't think really a lot of people are built for there, but he came in, man, and he just looked weird. Like, you ever see someone where they just seem like they kind of have a mental disability? And not to be mean, it's just how he came in. Super weird, man. Kid came around, talking a lot of weirdness. For some reason, I was in the minimum pod, nothing goes on in there. So, I got caught tattooing. Didn't really mess with dude, didn't want to be around dude, didn't like dude. Got caught tattooing, This dumb old tattoo. Look at this stupid stuff. Look at that. Plug. But so he ends up going straight to he ends up going straight to I end up straight going to medium. So boom. And just doing my time. And this is a crazy story, man. So throughout my bid, I ended up going to max as a protocol. They would basically be telling you that, you know, once your halfway house has been confirmed, you have to go to max because you're technically DOC. So boom, I go over there. I go to the halfway house, bro, and I was there for years, right? Never thought of what happened. You know, a lot of people, they go in this vicious cycle going in and out. So I ended up getting regressed from the halfway house. That means like they're like, we're sending you to prison. You know, you've had too many chances, you screwed up too many times, we're sending you to the joint. So bam, I go back to there, and basically you're in the county jail to be resentenced, and then given the time you've done in the halfway house, which is cool, you're not given any good time, right? You're giving you day for day, and that's at least credit to your account. You're not starting all over like probation can happen or anything like that, because I did all that too. It was crazy, man. So I go back, and I'm going to court. I step in, man. I see this dude. Bam, I look, right? He's in front of me, going to court, wearing reds, which was it was orange was max. And I'm looking at dude like, the dude is carrying himself like, you know, hey, you know, like his legs are crossed like this, which is like, I've seen older people do it and stuff like that, but he's like letting it be known that he's gay in prison. So dude starts up a conversation. I was like, what the heck happened? Like, I'm about to go to prison. I'm thinking the craziest things, like, this is nuts. Like, this dude literally, I know he wasn't carrying himself like this. The list, the gay, the crossing legs, like, openly talking about it. He was not like that. And then right in front of me, so I start conversation up. I'm like, so I didn't have a filter this time. I'm like, dude, what happened? Like, why are you gay now? You know, like, so, like, no filter whatsoever. So he looks at me and he's was like, well, I went to reception. So once you get sent to prison, you go to reception center. You're locked down. At least every reception center, but in Colorado, you're locked down. You're given everything, your DOC stuff. It's like you're initiated into prison. You're given your number. You're given all your stuff for prison. When you go from the jail, you can't take anything with you. You actually change into your street clothes you came in that jail with, right? And then you go to prison. It's kind of crazy. And you can only keep a picture, which I kept a picture of my wife. So dude's like, yeah, so I went to reception and I saw my cousin there. And he was talking to the door and he said, hey man, you just need to recognize who you are. And he said, from there on, I knew that I was gay. And I was like, when you're in jail and stuff and you're going to the joint, like, you hear a lot about prisons, you know, the mediums, the minimums, all that stuff. You know, I heard where he's at prison and he's at Sterling, high side. High side is the 3 to 4s, low side is 2 to 1. So 2 to 1s, nothing really truly happens. High side, bam. And it was crazy. It was really eye-opening, you know? It was like, a lot of people, why did they do it? And it's the best way to explain it is like predator and prey. And some people won't fight, don't like to fight. And they ended up just turning gay and taking it, but just taking it from one person that will protect them. It's freaking crazy, man. Guys that have been down 10, 15, 20 years, they get lonely. It changes, and these guys call, you know, boys or prison wives, and they only have to with that person. It's really crazy, man. And, man, another story, right? While I was in county jail, this whole situation almost popped popped off like straight riot. I promise, it was crazy. I wasn't affiliated with the white boys yet, and I came in, and the white boys actually protected me. So here's what happened. I go into max, boom, from medium. And max is like no joke. People getting sentenced 40 years. You know, you're around everyone. But a lot more gang politics. Colorado is a lot more about your race. You know, who you kick it with. And that's if you just follow, you'll kind of be a lot better. Because you kind of just don't mess anyone. So I go into max. I'm scared, you know. I don't know anything about politics. I don't know about none of this. I would go in the medium pod from doing all the county time and all that. I just ran that. But when you go to max, that's where all the prison inmates come. Everyone comes. So I'm in this corner cell, and I got this weird cellmate. And he came from Sterling High Side. And he was in my cell. And, you know, when you have a cellmate, you get acquainted, you know. He was a Crip. I'm not going to bang on any Crips. This is just what happened to this Crip. And, dude puts his arms on me, like making a pass. So I push him, and we start going at it. And, screaming from the tears, you know. This all dude come in, and people were like, you know, cut that shit out. And we were locked down at the time, and it was later at night, so it was a fight. And the dude said the craziest thing too after the fight. Like, he's like, oh man, what? Like, I'm not gonna rape you. Like, in your cell. Like, that's something you don't sell in jail. So, like, after we fought and everything like that, like, it comes into a story, right? And so I get out, right? And then I found out he's affiliated. The issue is when you deal with someone affiliated. I wasn't affiliated at the time. So, you know, the white boys looked out for me, and it was really cool, even though I wasn't affiliated, you know, at what they say is like a neutron at the time. So I end up, the Crips come talking, you know, blah, blah, what happened, blah, blah. I step in. Y'all can say what you want, man, but when it's like one-on-one is fine, but when you know there's 20 people and you're not going to check in, and you're around these hardcore banger inmates, you know, I come in my cellmate, and my cellmate smacks me. Boom. Say, I'm not gay, fool. I'm not gay, you know. And at that time, man, I didn't do shit at the time. We banged that night. Not bang, you know what I mean? But we fought that night, and the dude slapped me in front of dudes, right? And I wasn't affiliated at the time, came up. The white boy's like, yo, man, like, what's up? And dude, a white boy comes out, right? He's like, man. He's like, dude tried you. And I'm like, yeah. I like, you know what I mean? But his gang buddies don't want to believe it. And I can't fight all the Crips in the freaking pod. You know, I'm going to die. You know? And he'd be like, nah, fool. Like, you know, we're the white boys. And I've seen Homeboy. Homeboy doesn't know. I've been in this pod. And the same stuff went on with you. He tried on another dude. And they got straight to fighting. I was with a straight predator, bro. It was crazy. So dude says, I'm going to go get down. And there's going to be a war if there's any issues. Which always added me a lot of love for the white boys. It was very solid, man. They didn't have to help me. Dude didn't have to stand out. You know, it's very mind your own business. But dude looked out, right? So he goes up to the Crips. He says, man, I put it on everything. You know, him and his cellmate, they were like, we've been here. Dude is fucking homosexual, gay. He tried, dude. You know, that fighting last night was just like that. Dude got straight called out. You know what I mean? And straight backed up, you know what I mean? So the Crips like, we ain't messing with dude. You guys can have, basically, if y'all gang politics, if you fight, you gotta fight all of them. And gang was like, we ain't backing him. You know, we don't like none of that gang shit. You know, that gay shit. And so, man, the white boys, I was 19 at the time, young, doing jail. They come in, man, and this white dude's like, you grab your stuff, you're moving in with us. I was like, oh, shoot, all right. I come in, man, telling these people have been there a long time, dude. The whole middle bunk, right? In Arapahoe, they have 3 bunks, 3 people on the bunks, right? These only had 2 people. Their middle bunk was legal paperwork, all in the bunk with no mat. Dude's been down a long time fighting this case. Had to be a murder case, you know what I mean? But I'm moving there. He's like, I got you, bro. We got him. Like, you don't have to worry if he looks your way, if he does anything towards your way, like, and we're gonna go get him after this. And it was crazy, man. It was so cool, man. Like, looking out, like, they didn't have to do that. So I go in the cell. Dude goes in and shuts the door behind me. I don't know what happens, right? You know, in there you mind your business. I was like, shoot. And then dude comes out that, you know, been down a while, fine, white boy. Black dude don't come out, you know. It was crazy. And anytime he would come out, he was only coming out barely, sitting at the table staring, and then go back in. And then he was there to get called on a case and then ended up leaving. I ended up moving up with another white boy, you know, got all that, and it was just crazy, man. Like, that stuff really does happen. And it's all a true story, you know? And it's scary, man. Like I stood up for myself, luckily, but shoot, a lot of people just do this so they can feel safe, so they can feel like they're not in harm's way, and basically they only have to be gay with one person and then their safety. But other people are actually gay, and I actually had a couple cool dudes, you know, a dude named Matt. He was pretty cool. He was gay, and I was always like, man, if you like, what would you change about prison if you know you went in? I don't know. This was at like a rehab treatment center I went to, which is crazy. That's another time to talk about. But he was like, man, I would change hiding that I was gay in prison. I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. Like, I mean, guys, they make jokes like, man, it's like candy. Like, basically, guys that would never be gay are gay in there. So that's always the two out. Being turned out is usually because of fear and safety. And Colorado, you don't see it a lot. But it's crazy. The most transgender person, like the biggest change I've ever seen, was so you went from, when you go down to Canyon City, you go to, God, what is that place called? Cell House 7. And this is old prison. Looks like back from the 1900s, right? I'm not even joking. Your cell was as big as your arms, basically, with a toilet. And there were just hardcore inmates coming out here. Like, literally, down there, you had a ton of Northsiders and Southsiders. It was just one tier of cells, the other tier of cells, right? And I was just going, what I saw it was a trip. But this prison, right, was like, the cells were painted yellow and pink to, like, brighten your mood up. It was crazy. You got your food through the cell. Boring. You only got out for, like, rec, and then it was, like, around here, so tier in the back, they went out the side to just nothing there but a big old wall. And it was just hella scary, man. People get crazy up in there. It was nuts. And then basically you go there, do a little stop there to be in Canyon City, and then they send you on to your prison. So I came down and I look, and there's like straight looking like a chick. It was crazy. They had tables on the bottom, looking like a chick, big, like, not trying to look, but like looks like a straight chick. And it was just crazy, man. I've never seen an actual person that looks straight 100% like a woman and is a man, because you wouldn't even know unless you see the jumpsuit with the DOC number. So some people, you know, that's how they live and that's how they are, you know, and actually have relationships and stuff in there. And then other times, a lot of people, which really opened my eyes, do it just to be safe. And they pretty much give their cheeks up to one person and they can be protected and whatever and given food and all that stuff, you know. It's really sad, man, but story was today about what I've seen from people being turned out. It's pretty crazy. So hit that subscribe button, hit that likes. I'm trying to get this rolling. Figure out how to do all this cool stuff and get this stuff up. You know, I did a lot of time. So, you know, and there you really do see a lot. It's crazy. Things you would never see out here. So keep it rolling, different video ideas. Uh, I'll catch you guys later.